What's up, good people? How are you today? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. You already know what to do, okay? Don't ever stop hitting that like button. It is a way for you to help this page out and to get it out to more people, okay? As we are still locked in this battle with this beautiful, wonderful platform. All right, so we're going to talk about some things that's going to help you guys navigate this market, okay? I want to first start by saying that this is brought to you by Stock Up You. We'll talk about a coupon code. The coupon code is in the description below, guys. You know what it is. I say it all of the time. Just read it, go to the page. You can buy now, pay later, and pay zero interest. All right, let's go right into it. So what I have is, as you can see, I'm on the daily, right? And on the daily, I have a chart. And you'll notice that I have green at the bottom, yellow in the middle, and I got red at the top. Why is there red at the top? Because if you bought at the top, then you have more risk or more skin in the game, or should I say more risk than someone that bought the yellow and someone that bought at the bottom. Now, this bottom is not the absolute bottom because most people don't buy at the bottom, though someone that's following me got in right at the bottom. They've been watching the videos, they joined Money Moves, and they bought right at the bottom when we bought. Again, so here's what I want to show you. This is somebody that piled in at the top. This yellow line represents someone that dollar cost average, okay? So when you dollar cost average, meaning you are buying down here and you are buying up here, your average is going to be somewhere here. And I struck this line so you could see that we had a double top here and we just came back. And I just struck this line right here rather than right in the middle. And I want to show you that it's not one size fits all. Everybody's entry is different and everybody's story is different. So when you ask a broad question, Larry, what should I do with my stock? You have to determine where you are, just like the market goes through a boom, bubble, burst, repeat, boom, bubble, burst, repeat. All the while, it's a rolling wheel running uphill. So let's go back. So let me tell you that this is going to be one of the most powerful videos you're going to see this year on building wealth. Now, the people that bought down here, jackpot. So remember, let me say this. For the people that bought up here, that's in doubt, you bought at the top, and you say the market is rigged, it's horrible, it's just, oh, they're playing every day, you bought up here, just remember, somebody else bought down here and they're saying jackpot. Why? Because regardless of what's going on in these days and this little dip right here, this person right here is up over 30%. They're up. If I go from the bottom, that person that bought at the very, very bottom, right, which was a lucky move. So the person that bought at the very, very bottom, from the very, very bottom to the very, very top, they're up 40%. I got ticker symbol VOO. So on the S&P 500, they are up a whopping 4%. While you're saying it's a scam, I'm losing money, they're saying I'm doing good. The person that's been dollar cost averaging, they are up. They just been buying, whether the market was down or whether the market is up. They are up 13%. And this is 500 companies, ish, of the top 500 publicly traded companies, right? So now let's go to the Qs. All right. What is the Q? It's the NASDAQ, good people. What's in the Qs? It's tech heavy. Every tech company you own, even the smaller ones, even the ones in quantum computing, even your Tesla, your Nvidia, your Microsoft, it's all in here. And so what we have is same deal. Bought at the bottom, bought at the top. Hope I spelled that right. And then dollar cost average, right? And this is why dollar cost averaging never hurts. So for the person that says, I got $50,000. Yo, I got $50,000, man. I know you do your stock thing. Just tell me, what should I put it? You need to pump your brakes and not put it all in. Why? You may be buying at the top. Then you go, oh man, it's a scam because you bought at the top. Now you think that when we had this pullback, you down 4.5% on the entire QQQ, you're saying it's a scam. But remember, somebody bought it here at the bottom. And if you would have bought it mid-range at the bottom, what happens? You went up by 40% and you're still up by 35%. As a matter of fact, if you bought at the very bottom, please stay. This is important. You guys think the hot stock is the only thing you need to know. No, this is what you need to know. If you bought at the very bottom, at the very top, you are up 58% on the QQQ, right? And who was also smart? The person at dollar cost average. The person at dollar cost average bought here, and even right now, they are up 13% on an entire index. And then at the highs, they were up 18%. You guys see that? That's on the Qs. And so when you first get into the market, you don't dump in. Even at the bottom, I say, put a chunk in and you start to dollar cost average. Now, Larry, what happens if this market pulls back and starts to fall more? I want you to look at each and every stock. Is it tech? Then I want you to go to Qs first. Then I want you to go to the S&P. Then I want you to go to that individual stock. You got to treat this thing like it's serious. Stop watching the cat videos and worrying about junk, okay? What this one said, what that one said, and get serious about your money. I'm going to ask you a question. If you're in profit, if you bought at the bottom or you DCA'd, my question to you is, how much of those gains are you willing to lose? And then that's where you should consider setting your stop loss. And it may trigger just on a cool off day. And it may turn around and go back up, but you got to be okay with it. Or you are long sighted, meaning you are only building wealth in stock or equities that you plan on holding. Then it's okay, even if it goes a little red, you're just adding to your positions. Follow? So this is what you have to decide for yourself. Did you buy down here? If you bought down here, I ain't touching nothing, especially if it's in good companies. If you bought down here, the truth be told, you're good. And you don't have to sell everything if you think the market is going to pull back. All you got to do while you were dollar cost averaging is calculate how much you bought from here to here, and then maybe you're only going to sell a quarter of your positions if it dips that far down. You guys see what I'm saying? So you have to assess where you are, where you bought, and how much of your gains are you willing to lose. Or if you're red and you think, I didn't say it is, you think the market is going to pull back 10, 15%, then you have to establish a mark. And I don't care if it's your ETFs and you just got in. Larry, I heard you should never sell your ETFs. Well, that's not true, because if you're one of the ones that bought in up here, should I say, let's do this. If you're one of the ones that just got in and you put a ton of money and you bought right here, then you may consider putting in a stop loss. But if you just say, you know what, I'm in for the long game, then you're still okay. Why? Because if we look at this, and this is the Qs, matter of fact, let's go back to the overall stock market. If you go back, good people, this is what you need to be seeing and hearing right now, and not what's the hot stock. I'm going to go to the weekly. I want to show you, just like I showed people in Money Moves, right? This was Liberation Day. Okay. All right. I'm going to go to every single pullback Watch this. This is the money move, right? So we had a pullback. Where's my vertical? Right here. We had a drop here. You guys know what that was? COVID, right? Then we had a drop here. You know what that was? Okay. And then we had another drop right here, October 10th, 2022. And then we got April 7th here. That was Liberation Day. Okay. What else did we have? We had another drop here. Okay. And if I went back, I can go all the way back to the .com. I can go back to 2008. All of that, right? All of that is in here. And so I want you to see, to the person that say, I'm going to just hold, you could see all of these moves, right? This was COVID. Remember? This was COVID right here. Bam. Okay. This was 2022. This entire year, 2022, this entire year, you know what that was. You know, this entire year was a downward year. It was a bear market. But had you just bought right in the middle, right there, you see that? Had you just bought right there, you would be up 66% right now. 66%. This is VOO. 66% if you'd have just bought. Even if you bought at the highs or what you thought was the high, even if you bought at the highs before the fallout, you would still be up 44%. This is how you build wealth, good people. This is how you build wealth. And let me tell you, you got to understand that in your positions, if you're in the long game, all you got to do is just wait. Just wait. Now, let's just go back to where we are right now. Okay? We know that there's talk of a correction or a crash or a 20% pullback win in 2026. There's just talk of it, right? Let's go back to the day. There's talk of it. Does that mean it's going to happen? No. But this is how you simply get prepared for what's to come. And if I go back to the weekly, and I told you guys how, those of you that didn't know, and I'm not talking about you guys that did know, when you just go and use your tools and see that you're getting close to the 200-day moving average, then that's when you need to look at being brave and just buying. Look at down here, October 22, we broke beneath 200-day EMA on the weekly, okay? But if we go on the 2-day, you're going to see some breakthroughs, right? So don't just look at the weekly. Look at, I go to the 5, I go to the 7-day. I know you say 7 is a week, but it actually is kind of different. And then I go to the 2-day. I'll do the 2-day 100 EMA, and I'll do the 2-day 200 EMA. Okay? And so let me close this off. So if you really want some deep discounts, you don't even have to wait to the weekly or go to the weekly chart. You can go to the 2-day and you could see every time, could have bought here, could have bought here. What else? It's actually helping you, all right? And so let me take that off, okay? And let's go to the 100-day. Now, the 100-day is just in case we don't have any deeper dips. What is the 100 EMA on the 2-day showing us? I know this one is longer, okay? It's showing us that we could have bought here. We could have bought here. We could have bought here. All right. And what are they? What are these dates? What was this? Boom, April, Liberation Day. And then before that, we're back in 2023. And then again here in February 2023. Every single time it was a signal to buy. And of course, these extreme dips, this is when you look at the 200-day on these extreme dips. See that? And so you could have just been buying and you would be up. You would just be up. Before Liberation Day, had you just bought, you would be up right now 64%. I know this one is longer, people. I know it. But I wanted to prepare you for the long game. And there's going to come a time here shortly that I'm going to have to take some time off. And I want you guys to be prepared. I'm showing you what you can consider, because anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. But I'm saying if you spend some time and see where things are going, then you could be okay. And remember, 2022, we had a huge pullback. Remember, Liberation Day, we came down 18%, 14, 15, 18%, depending on what stock. We were down 20% in some areas. All right. And a lot of people miss the bottom. Okay. Institutions miss the bottom. The funds, money managers missed the bottom. And you and I, we were brave enough to go in and buy. And we're still up, even though we have these temporary macro pullbacks. We're still up. And this is how you build wealth. All right, good people, I'm going to leave it right there. I'm sorry. I just wanted to show you guys a lot. And I said I was going to take this day and to help you guys navigate this market. You're going to have these data points come in and out. They're going to be coming in and out. One day is going to be good. The next day is not good. The question is when are you going to buy, and where are you going to buy, and what you're going to buy? We're going to talk about that a little more too. But in all thy getting, get an understanding, because out of everything I have in the market, and I have a nice piece of change. I have a couple of, 7 figures in the market. This is how it was built. I love options. It wasn't options. I love swing trades. When I hit the ball out of the park, I take that money and I put it in my long-term portfolios, and not just ETFs. I want you to take this information. I want you to apply it to your growth stock. I want you to apply it to your blue chip stocks, your AI stock, your big tech stocks, Tesla, Nvidia, Microsoft, all of those. And then there's macro news that happens intermediate in those stock. But when you really zoom out, you're going to see all the while, year after year, there's been opportunity. And even with the pullback, at some point, you just need to get in and keep it moving. Remember the yellow line, the one that dollar cost average. Okay. So at some point, I'm going to make a video about value cost averaging. And this is how you really ramp up your money. Guys, if you want to learn how to do this, if you want to learn this, you need to go to Stock Up You. In this video, it's going to be the only link, Stock Up You. Learn and earn. That's where you want to learn all you can. And I have an entire course in there for options, okay? An entire chapter for options and crypto. And so you could learn and earn. Use the coupon code that's in the description. And when you say, Larry, where's the description? Go to your cell phone. If you're on your cell phone, hit where it says more, and it'll drop down. And I have a coupon code there, okay? All right, guys, let me know if this helped you. I know it was long. Let me know if it helped you. I know it helped somebody. But this is more important than any little movement of any single stock right now, where this market is. And remember, you're going to hear a lot about Santa Claus rally. Remember, the Santa Claus rally is 5 days of the end of this year in December and 2 days in January of 2026. That's it. It may or may not come at all. But with this plan, you can make money. Remember to click the links below. We love you guys. Live, love, laugh, and learn.